Hello and welcome to Norwood Digest, NCM's news magazine show. We've got a great show coming up and we're going to start it right off with Daniel Revallion, who, if you've seen him out and about professionally, you probably know him as Mathematics.
Yes, sir.
So, Mathematics.
Yes, sir. How you doing
Tell
today?
us about yourself. Tell us about your group, what you do.
So I have a LLC called motivatedbymathematics.com, and what I do is I go into schools, communities, recovery events, transformative events like people that were incarcerated, came home doing something different. I provide inspirational, motivational speaking. I also provide music, poetry, spoken word, and I also like to come in with a variety of speakers from both men and women. Really, we like to go into the schools and then just into the communities and just use a positive message to show people that you can go from from a negative to a positive.
And you're no stranger to Norwood. You've participated in a bunch of things here.
Yes.
So tell us about those.
So I've been offered, multiple opportunities by Jeff to do 2 Norwood events and come to the police academy, training academy for the kids in the summer. And I've been blessed to be able to speak with them, give them some insight. I try not to tell the kids what to do. I just want to make you aware of these are the consequences that could possibly happen if you make bad choices, because I know if you tell kids what to do, they're not going to listen. So I just tell them I'm here to just make you aware.
And Jeff is Officer Baguma, who
Yes.
everybody knows is Mustang Sally's handler. They don't even know Jeff's name anymore. It's
Yes.
Mustang Sally.
Yes.
So when I first heard the name of Mathematics, is this guy going to talk to me about math?
So mathematics is kind of like a spiritual attribute that I take on, kind of like when someone takes on some religious things or they've evolved into a different state of being. So it's really what I call my spiritual attribute, which is kind of like my higher self. And I use it for my poetry. With the music, I take old school songs and I put a twist on it to make it positive, to present a positive message. Because when I go into the schools, I'm an older guy, I'm 52 now. And so when I go into the schools to knock myself down to size with the kids, I like to come in with the rap songs and the poetry with the music behind it. And then a lot of times the kids can relate. And I try to use really good graphics in the videos so that the kids can really relate and say that that's pretty cool.
And so tell us a little bit about your history, because I think your history helps give you credibility with the kids. So tell us a little bit about that.
So I grew up in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and then I've also lived in Boston for a long time. I had a good upbringing, things of that nature. Went to school, I graduated high school, but I made some bad choices when I was in the summer of 8th grade. I decided to get into dealing drugs, doing drugs, and that's basically been the story of my life: is incarceration, addiction, not making the best choices. And then now I've come home after doing 15 years in state prison for over 4 state bids. I'm in recovery. I'm a 12-step gangster. I practice the 12 steps. I'm a friend of Bill's, but I'm for all pathways of recovery. And I just try to carry a powerful message that you can do in time in prison. You cannot be the best dad and come home and do something different. You can make some bad decisions in life, but if you're willing to be open-minded and willing to try something new, there is a better way to travel out there. And I just wish when I was younger, no one told me the consequences until I was at the next town over in Walpole. I learned the consequences through being in the big yard and being in these institutions, Walpole, Concord, Shirley. I didn't learn until it was too late. So I just try to provide a message now to these youths that if you make bad decisions, there is going to be a consequence. And I always like to let people know that I'm a product of Mass Ave as well. I was on Mass Ave from 2013 to 2016. So I know sometimes people judge and criticize what's going on Mass Ave, but there are positive stories like myself of someone that was on Mass Ave for 3 years, but now I work in recovery. I was able to go back to the facility that I came home to. I also, after doing 4 state bids and being a habitual criminal, I work in the Dedham House of Correction now. Shout out to Chris Dolly for giving me a shot. He believed in me, and I'm able to go into the prison system now after being incarcerated a third of my life, and I'm able to teach a class called Recovery Navigation. I'll be there in the next couple of days, and I form good relationships with the returning citizens, we'll say. So I'll be forming good relationships with them and just showing them that they can come home and do something different as well.
Yeah, I worked at that facility when
Yes.
Sheriff Bellotti was the sheriff.
Okay.
A long time ago.
Yes.
So I think we got your message. And who do you want to be in front of?
I really would like to I think I have a strong message, but I don't have the popularity to get it out in front of enough people. So I'd like to be on some, major networks. And I think that there's not enough. There's a lot of stories about the drama and the trouble and the shooting and the violence and the drug using, but there's not enough positive stories out there about the comeback stories, the transformation, the families that finally heal and get their son or their daughter back. And a guy like me that struggled in my relationships with my children, but now I'm raising my daughter full time by myself. So I just really want to get in front of really the youth, but also the parents that are going through, that have children that are addicted, or children that are always calling them from incarceration, or the mothers and the family members of the people that are running up and down Mass Ave. I want them to know that the power of prayer really works, and the power of positive thought, always calling into existence that my son or my daughter is going to one day change.
So if somebody watching today says, oh, I'd like to get that guy in front of our group, how do they go about doing that?
So I'm on motivatedbymath.com. That's my website. I can also I'm on Motivated by Mathematics on TikTok, Motivated by Mathematics on Instagram, and Mathematics MX Grands on Facebook. And if you can just get on my website, send me an email, and then I'm willing to reach back to anybody that needs any help. Not just if you just want me to come in front of a school. If you just need some hope or some inspiration, you can always shoot me an email. I can give you my phone number, and we can go from there.
All right, I'm going to put you totally on the spot now.
Yes, sir.
Give us a little rap.
All right. Okay. Let me think of a good one to say. Selfishness and fear are the root of my problems. Shout outs to my sponsor, Pugs. He helps me solve them. I've done so many 13 steps, they call me Brogdon. From social media, I have to take step backs just like James Harden. Helping others is the key if you want to be free. Of religious gods in the sky, mine exists within me. Being of service to others is a recovery fee. Always being consistent are my ABCs. I went from smoking crack rock to helping change lives by working at Bedrock. I teach the 12 steps. The third step is the arch. I lived in failure, but then I moved to success. I put my ego to the side and let God do the rest. 25,000 times a day, he puts air in my chest. My ego is a bird. A neighbor is on my nest. Prayer and meditation helps relieve the stress. If I can promise you one thing, it's that mothers know best. And please, please, please read every day, because minds are meant to be stretched.
That was awesome.
Thank you so much.
That was really awesome.
Thank you so much.
So if you'll get more than just that if you deal with mathematics here.
Thank you, sir.
So thank you so much for being on the show. Is there anything that you want to make sure people know that I didn't ask you?
Just to never give in. One of my main themes and my models is never give in, never give up on yourself. I spoke earlier for the Nurture and Fathers program. One of the strongest plants, the trees on the planet, are a bamboo tree. But you plant the seed and you have to water it every single day for 5 years before you see any growth. But it grows to be 30 feet in the air. So I just want people to know to be patient, trust the process, keep watering the plants, keep absorbing the water, keep absorbing the growth, keep absorbing the knowledge, and give yourself a chance. But eventually that tree is going to blossom and grow if you never give up and never give in, and actually give yourself a chance.
Well, thank you so much for being here.
It's amazing being here, and I thank you for the experience.
All right.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
All right.